Greetings from sunny Central Florida. Let's get into crafting.
So before we get started, I just wanted to show you a quick look at my schedule for June. The first is the God Bless USA playlist. I have the 5 Under 5 challenge on the 5th, the Small Creator Sunday on the 12th, and then the 20th is the Here's Your Crown playlist. I've chosen the 25th as my own day. I will put out a video of my own theme and my own creations, and I'll keep doing it on the 25th of every month. So thanks for watching. Let's get into crafting. This video is part of the open playlist put on every month by Chantel at Crafty Hints, Brenda at Rustic and Lace DIY, and Amanda at 6 Kids and a Glue Gun. This month's theme is God Bless the USA. Links to their channels and a link to the playlist will be in my description box. Project number 1, tabletop flag holder. So we have some spare lumber, this dog sign from Dollar Tree, star ornament from Amazon, and some folk art chalk paint and Magic Fly acrylic paint. So we're going to prepare the wood for painting. So I've sanded it down, took off the stickers, and now I'm mixing together some chalk paint and acrylic paint to get the color that I want. And I'm not going to be messy, but I'm going to make it look old. I want to make it look old, like it's been stored in the attic and then brought out for a couple months every year when you need some Americana. And it's going to hold a flag. It's a flag holder, and so every year, in my mind, the owners would every year get new flags and use this over and over again to display their flags. You know, whether it was a cookout or dining room table. So we're just gonna get some paint down, just one coat, and we'll actually sand that down afterwards to make it the color that we really want. Get some white paint down on that star, and then I'm going to sand down these colors to make them look gold. When I'm happy with this sanding job, I'm going to attach the star to the blue portion, and actually use E6000 and hot glue. So long-term hold with the E6000 and short-term with the hot glue, so I can keep working. So I saw established 1776 on a lot of patriotic Americana type photos in Pinterest and Google. So I decided USA established 1776 would be just a nice normal something to put on this. And I remembered to use the transfer tape this time and not try and do it just all on its own. And I also remember to fill the space. Last time I used Cricut, my word looked small, so this time I made sure to do some measurements and make the words fill the space. So I used the Dollar Tree dabber or pouncer, however you want to call it, and my chalk paint is like super thick, so I just kind of glob it on. Any other paint, and I would be more careful and not put so much on the dabber or the little sponge there. But this paint, for some reason, this is really good for stenciling. So it's not so much that it bled through, it actually just kind of like, there was just so much of it, it just kind of oozed out a little bit. But I'm learning how to use my Cricut, and I'm learning how to weed, so I'm already happy with how this looks. And you know, it may not be much to a lot of people, but it's a little bit of professionalism for me. So this is just the flag holder portion of the craft, and you know, I could have put a vase there, or I could have put something more substantial, or a bigger hole and everything, but I chose to just look at the thickness of the flag there, and then just choose a drill bit and make the hole. And the first one was way too small, so I'm going in and I'm doing it on a little bit of an angle, because in the sketch that I made for this, the flag was sort of standing like sideways, or not sideways, but it had a slant to it. So I got the hole drilled and everything, and again I'm just going in with E6000 and hot glue, and I'm pushing the blue block all the way to the end of the red block, so I leave that space just like that, and in goes the flag. And there you have tabletop decor. So this is a tabletop flag holder, and I'll show you a better view of it at the final reveal. Project number 2, framed USA letters. So if you notice, I'm opening with the Cricut machine working away, but right from the very beginning, things go awry. You'll notice the phrase there was 4.5 inches, and it should have been 3.5. So right from the very beginning, things didn't go as I had planned, but I don't realize it right away. So I'm happily crafting away here and showing you this really pretty frame, and I have 3 frames, and the plan is to paint them red, white, and blue, and put God Bless the USA as the background underneath the glass, and then the letters U, S, and A on top of the glass. So I painted them and I set everything out, and then I remembered I need a white background. So got that done, and then went and sat down and watched some videos on how to use a Cricut Joy and how to use transfer tape and a few others, and then came back and started doing what needed to be done. And it takes a long time. Like, this is totally sped up. Excuse me. So this is totally sped up, and you just kind of have to go with the flow. You just kind of have to, it's almost like therapeutic if you just, you know, get into it and just let yourself concentrate on it. My advice for someone starting out would be to choose a thicker font, something that's a lot easier to weed and to transfer, because I kept losing letters or pieces of letters, and I managed okay, but still, if I had to do it again, I would definitely choose a different font. I actually chose this font because it was Americana, and I thought that was appropriate since we're doing patriotic. So here I am using my Cricut tools, getting my Cricut Transfer tape to lift my Cricut words. And I was the one who was like, stop doing Cricut, you do too much Cricut. But I've sort of like vowed that I was going to do a bunch of Cricut right out of the box and get more used to it, so I don't have to think about it so much and just, you know, do what needs to be done. So one of the videos I watched was saying things like work out from the center. So like start in the center and push the transfer tape down onto the letters, like from the center out to all the edges. And another thing they said was to keep your transfer tape low, like really close to what you're pulling it off of. And I found that that was really helpful. So I got the 3 lines on there. And again, I'm doing it this way because I printed up a whole bunch of God Bless the USA that was too long, and I didn't feel like I should waste it all and go back and reprint it. So I actually had to print out maybe 3 more lines because I got some of the letters just got totally messed up. But still, I feel like I am going ahead with it and doing it landscape orientation instead of portrait orientation, because I'm learning what to do when something doesn't work out how I planned. So would I like them to be used like a regular picture and use the backing and stand up on the table? Yes, that was what I had in mind, but I'm doing it this way now. And I actually got my USA letters on there, you saw, and I just did that as a sticker, and then I took my acrylic paint markers and did an outline on them. I used one of my Cricut pens for the letter S because my acrylic paint pen has gone missing. The black one has gone missing. So I used a Cricut one, and it's a much finer tip, and I had to go over it quite a few times. But again, it's part of just trusting the process and just doing what needs to be done and taking your time. And I even like wiped it off and restarted a few times because it kept smudging. So I'm getting all the backs on here and making sure they're all oriented okay. And this is going to look great in the final reveal. I'm going to glue these together and put some blocks on the back so they can stand up. Looking good. All right. I'll see you again at the final reveal.
Project number 3, Land That I Love Pizza Pan. So I'm using a Dollar Tree 2022 calendar image. I've already Mod Podged the pizza pan that I also purchased from Dollar Tree. I'm going to do a few embellishments that I haven't quite decided on yet. So I chose this image from the Dollar Tree calendar because it shows all of the United States and not just the continental United States. I actually had a Google image I was going to use, and then I realized Hawaii and Alaska weren't on there. And it's not continental land that I love, it's land that I love. So I felt it was important to include all of United States. So I just do a lot of fussy positioning in this project, and I just kind of play with the letter placement. I had the word land up too high, and I really wanted to put an embellishment on top. So you'll see me put them down and move them around and try to decide where to put Hawaii and Alaska. I finally decided to put it not directly at the top, so definitely leaving room for a bow there. So the state of Florida, my state, is actually going to jut into the words at the bottom, but that's okay. It's kind of, makes it crafted and organic. And then I'm just trying to decide what to put on the top here, and as soon as I lay that ribbon down, I know that's, look at, I start cleaning up and everything, because I know that's what I'm going to use. And so what I'll do before I do anything else is decide on a size for the bow. This is a burlap ribbon. It's wired, so I'll be able to puff it out. And once I find a size that I'm happy with, I pull a few red, white, and blue flowers that I purchased at the Dollar Tree a few weeks ago. And then I set those to the side to work on the pizza pan. So since it's already Mod Podged, all I need to do to affix it to the pizza pan is to iron it. Now, normally I would use a little craft iron that's about as big as my hand, but I have a cord and no iron. I don't know where it is. So I literally got up from my desk and went on a search for my clothes iron, which I will admit I don't often use. So I'm lucky that the pizza pan is big enough to fit the whole iron in on it. And I just kind of go with the flow here, and I also make sure I get the letters. It's, even though they're sticky, you know, a little bit of Mod Podge never hurt anyone. And I had a little bit of a bubble there, so I did go back and flatten it. And I love how Mod Podge turns out this way. Like, I don't do it any other way. If I have to do it on like glass or anything, I'll use a glue stick. But this way is just for me. I just love it. After I take that parchment paper off, I just use it to, I think you call it burnish. I just use it to burnish and just rub down everything and make sure all the edges are stuck. Because that's usually the problem, is the edges. But this one is fine. The poster letters are fine. And now I'm going to soften it up here. And this is just a totally dry brush, like totally dry, because a couple times, look at right there, I went to like smudge the paint off the letter and it wasn't going anywhere. That paint was on there and it was dry as a bone. I mean, it must have dried in like the second I put it on, it was dry. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go with it. I get all the edges done, because I didn't put any ropes or anything like we usually do with pizza pans, because I just kind of like the simplicity of this one. I didn't need a rope because it wasn't covering up any edges or anything. So I just played with the paint here till I liked the look. And I kind of like how the letters had texture and it would like catch the paint and prevent it from like going like it's stroking all the way across. So I'm just going to finish up the letters here, and I just want to thank you guys for staying with me till the end here. And to my subscribers, thanks for taking this journey with me. And to my new viewers, I hope you consider subscribing, because it's been a pretty cool journey so far, and there's just more interesting and fun things to come. I'm actually almost finished here. I'm just gonna add in a couple of little paint strokes here. And I don't even think you would count this as a chippy brush. I just took a brush that wasn't smooth. All right, I think it's time to put a bow on this. I only chose not black and white, blue and white to go with the white ribbon, because I felt like it was nice that the eye just goes to the map in the center. So there's no red on the border, and there's no red on top, and there's no red in the ribbon. So when you look at it, your eye immediately goes to the red stripes in the middle, which I really like. So I did the awareness bow, pinched it. I had what do you call those? Ziplocs. I had a Ziploc right near me, so I used the Ziploc, but I didn't zip it in all the way. And then I got my flowers in there and got happy with the placement before I actually tightened up the Ziploc. And I'm checking the placement here, and I like it. So I'm just gonna attach it with some hot glue. And I give it a few seconds here for the glue to cool off and for it to set. And I know the bow's not going to go anywhere if I start trimming it and making it more pretty. So I'm just dovetailing the ends here, And there you have it, this pretty patriotic pizza pan. And you'll see more of it in the final reveal.
Don't forget to subscribe and give me a big thumbs up. See you soon.